Most of us resist all the time. We resist the truth. We resist feeling our pain. We resist things that aren't the way we want them to be. We resist what doesn't fit our narrative. There are a lot of things that we want to experience that we can't if we're resisting. Love, joy, peace, truth, they all emerge when we're open. And opening happens when we don't resist. When we're open, we're in a state of receptivity. We're allowing what is. When you allow, when you open, energy flows. When you resist, energy slows down or gets stuck. When energy is flowing, you can receive truth, wisdom, beauty, and love. In order to receive the things that we want, we have to be willing to be with what's creating the resistance. And in the case of healing, resistance shows up when we're afraid of feeling or seeing something. Feeling an emotion like grief or seeing a truth that may mean we have to confront something in our lives that we don't want to. And when we don't want to confront something or change something in our lives, it's typically because we don't want to be with the emotions that will surface when we do. Learning to stay open means you have to learn to be with your emotional pain. I was in a lot of unconscious resistance back in 2016. I was in a relationship that was supporting me and avoiding my soul's journey. I was cozy and comfy in love, but I was also not in the right relationship for me. And I was using the partnership as a security blanket. I've been practicing breathwork for a few years by the time I was in that relationship, so I'd done a good amount of work on myself and had enough experience in staying open that I was able to do so in a pivotal moment. We were having a conversation about moving forward in our relationship, and there was an energy surrounding that conversation that was felt between us but unspoken. So I asked a few questions that I knew could lead to answers that would change everything. But I also knew that I needed to know. I stayed open, heard the truth, and we broke up. That breakup was a portal into a dark night of the soul for me. And a dark night of the soul isn't an intentional incremental opening. It cracks you wide open and initiates you into soul alignment. So that journey brought all of the pain I've been holding on to the surface. And while it cracked me open, I still resisted. I resisted as much as I could, but it didn't work. It was like tidal waves of grief surfacing relentlessly, and the energy I had to hold it back was hurting me more than it was helping. I have this distinct memory of when I realized I was creating my own suffering. I was in a laundromat waiting for my clothes to wash and then dry. I was in so much pain it felt like torture. I don't even know how I got to the laundromat, but I was there sitting, avoiding eye contact and just praying everyone would leave me alone. And then the grief began to rise in my body. It felt like I was being filled up from the tips of my toes, rising all the way up to my eyes and then just spilling out. I didn't want to cry in the laundromat. I didn't trust that my body wouldn't just fall to the floor and start wailing. So somehow I managed to hold it at bay. I grabbed my clothes, drove the 5 minutes home with tears beginning to spill over, ran into my apartment, slammed the door. I fell to the floor and sobbed. And as I was sobbing, I suddenly realized that I was gonna feel this grief no matter what. But my resistance to it was causing suffering. And that suffering was so much more painful than the grief itself. And I realized that while feeling the pain was no longer optional, suffering was. So I chose to surrender. And since that moment, I've been able to move through my life with much less resistance to what I need to see and feel. That surrender took me into the shadow of myself. It gave me so much wisdom. It opened my heart so I could love myself, and it connected me to my soul. That openness was the most painful experience of my life, but has also taught me the greatest lessons of my life so far. The single practice that has supported me through this journey to experiencing less resistance and feeling safe surrendering to what is breathwork. It's a simple but incredibly powerful practice that I've been facilitating for others for 9 years and continue to use as my own primary healing tool. This practice helps us pull up and clear out the energy that's between us and everything we desire. It helps us let go. It helps us feel our pain and set it free. It allows us to receive the wisdom of our experience and the truth if we're willing to see it. If you want to feel more open, I created a 12-minute guided breathwork meditation called Breathwork for Opening that I'm offering for free for anyone new to this work, for those who need a short daily breathwork practice, and for those who need something to support the body in opening more slowly over time. You're welcome to access it in the link below.